I was born in China, and when I was 3 years old, I went to Hong Kong and I grew up there until 10 years old. I remember suddenly just one day, my mom announced that we are going to immigrate to the United States, like our entire family. At that time, I remember I just got accepted to a drama club. I've always wanted to be an actress my whole entire life. Like my childhood dream career was to become like a model and an actress. So I was actually very happy and I was kind of reluctant of leaving Hong Kong because I kind of want to stay there since I just got accepted. But I believe like 1 week afterward, I totally forgot about it and I'm actually very excited about just going to the United States. And I was like dreaming about talking gibberish in the shower, like pretending I was speaking English because I didn't really speak English at that time. Like I was literally like showering and I was pretending that I could speak English fluently and communicate with foreigner. And I don't know, just speaking some gibberish. I don't even remember. I didn't remember like how the moving or flying process is. I mean, I did remember that my dad and mom packed like the whole entire house of stuff. We weren't very like decisive in terms of like just leaving China permanently. We're like, I believe they thought it was like if they didn't like US, they would come back. Like we didn't sell our house yet at that time. I remember like after getting off the plane, because our aunt was picking us up. I remember like the road was so dark. There's like no road lamp at all, and I thought like I was driving into a farm because like everywhere is so dark. And I still remember the first time I stepped into my aunt's house. I literally felt like that was like a mansion. Like that's like the biggest house I ever seen in my life. Cause house in China are generally kind of tiny. So yeah, I was like, oh, this is like a paradise. Like house here is so awesome. And I was in China, I was in fifth grade. And after coming to the United States, because my English, well, I literally didn't speak any English. So since I wasn't able to caught up, they put me into fourth grade instead. I think the biggest challenge at that time was really just I didn't speak English, so I couldn't make any friend. But I never really felt any type of racism at that time. I actually remember there was this girl, her name is Autumn. Um, she wrote me this letter, which I didn't really understand at that time, but I still remember it today. She said that when she grew up, she wanted to be a teacher to help people who couldn't speak English, like if English is their second language. So she wants to make friends with me, and she has been like a big help through the way. Like when I wasn't able to make any friend, and nobody would really play with me during like PE classes, she would come on and talk to me and communicate with me. Although I don't know how to respond back. But after that, yeah, like the school has been a huge help. They schedule like a private tutor during school time and after school. So I would kind of like go to class as half of my classmate during half the time, and then other half of the time I will be taken to a library and try to read, like English book that is for like K1 or first grade, just to try to help me caught up. And after school, they also scheduled tutor for me, so I would go straight to library. So I remember one time it was lunchtime and we eat the school lunch. So you grab, whatever the school prep you, right? And I remember on the tray, there's a chocolate brownie, which I really like chocolate brownie, by the way. And that there's a girl, I can't really tell if it's a type of bully or not, but I end up crying because she took my brownie and she licked on it. So I couldn't eat it anymore. And at that time, that was like, I believe like the second or third week in, I just started the school and I felt so sad because I couldn't really communicate that to anybody. And I just began crying to the teacher and I was just demonstrating to the teacher what she did. And the teacher ended up punishing her by letting her standing in the hallway. So I was actually glad that my teacher just stand up for me. So yeah, that was like a dark moment, but she never bullied me again afterwards. So I guess that's ending well. So yeah. I think that what really helps in bringing the English level up was two things. One is definitely Disney Channel. So after home, I would like go home and straight watching Disney Channel, like probably from like 4 p.m. straight to like 8 p.m. until I go to sleep. And although I don't, understand whatever is going on, when you just keep absorbing in and listening to the same language over and over, you eventually would get on track. And I think the second thing is just I love to read in general. So when I just got to United States, like I would read a lot of book that is for probably like 5 or 6 years old. But like if when I get into word that I don't understand, I would just key them into my electronic translator. I have this little pocket translator at that time and just translate word by word. So I caught up quite quickly. I think that I'm able to communicate without major issue within 1 year, and within 2 years, I'm able to get like pretty much fluent. Like I was never too timid to speak out because, you know, like as a kid, most of the time you're not very afraid of just getting things wrong. But for me, in my situation, I'm kind of being pushed to grown up because my parents couldn't speak English. So they would bring me to like the bank, they would bring me like to the mortgage, and I would be the translator in between. So, you know, like I kind of know if I speak something wrong, but I would just try my best anyway. And I guess just by speaking up and keep communicating, that's how you build your confidence up. But I never really have a confidence issue, really. I got a scholarship, and for the scholarship, they assign a mentor to you. Her name is Lisa, and she is a retired lawyer. I love her, by the way. She's awesome. And she would come to school and basically hear me complain about my life every single week, like once every week. And she has been, I feel like she has been one of the most supportive person in my whole high school life. So yeah, that was just like the first thing that came into my mind. I don't really know like what's really more happy than that. So actually after immigrating to the United States, I believe like 8 months or 1 year in, my mom actually asked me and my sister, how do we feel about staying in US? Like if we like it here or do we want to move back to Hong Kong? Because I knew that my mom wanted to go back, but she's willing to sacrifice and stay there if me and my sister prefer here more. And I personally like US a lot more. I think one of the major reason is because back in Hong Kong, my academic score has always not been performing well. Because since first grade, the whole education system was that everybody is like in a list. Like, so your score is public. Like at the end of each semester, they will give you like this grading sheets, and it will tell you where you're ranking. And I'm always at that middle ranking, so I really have no motivation to kind of do better in school because I feel like everybody is just so discouraging. Like my teacher was discouraging. They would just talk to my mom and be like, yeah, your daughter just need to work harder. I think she's just lazy in general. And I mean, I am lazy, but like I never really get like the special attention that I did after I got into US. Like when I got into US, my teacher has like, I feel like they really personalize into you. They treat you as a person, like as a unique individual instead of just a number on a list, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's a lot more option. And in terms of academic wise, there's a lot more motivation for me to work harder because I feel like everybody has been so positive. And that was one of the major reasons why I want to stay back in US. I actually didn't end up making a lot of friends during my whole high school journey. I think that was due to two reasons. One was because I got to my high school by through this program called IB program. So most of the people who go to that school are people who live in that area, and most of them are really rich, and my family are not rich. So there's like a huge lack of, I guess, just common topic to discuss with. And second of all, I felt like there's always this cultural gap. Like I can't really truly blend in with the whole US culture. So most of my friends are people who are like me, that's kind of have like this US Chinese background. And those are people that I could really just make friends with because those are the people that I feel like I have a common language with. So yeah. And maybe the third one because I have always been like more of an introvert person. And I try to be more extrovert, but that was just me back then. And I can't tell if I have changed ever since, but yeah.